Okay, buddy, we're ready.
Okay, so why are you wearing a suit?
I thought this was like the James Bond episode.
We're talking about James Bond, but
Yeah, so I know like there's a new James Bond coming out. Idris Elba, like people want him, so I thought, why not throw a Latino in the ring? Maybe people would like it.
I got you. I think that you don't have a British accent. I think that's important.
I mean, I could do the accent.
I wouldn't
What
go
if I
there
do? What if I do the accent then?
don't do the accent.
This is episode 52 of Color Break. How's it going, guys?
Welcome back, everybody. Like Christian was saying, this is episode number 52 of Color Break, your third favorite podcast. I'm your host, Kody Collects, for this episode with my co-host, as always, Comic Book Stash. How you doing?
How's it going, guys? I am doing good. Had to dress up a bit for this dumb joke, but it was my idea, so I cannot blame Kody.
Listen, they're going to be casting a James Bond. I mean, they might as well.
Yeah,
Look
might
at
as
some
well
Latinos,
throw my hat in the ring. I think like reboots often call for changes in characters, and maybe that's a good one.
That would be really funny. A Hispanic guy with a British accent
Yeah,
on the big screen.
and every
I'm
now and
sure.
then he'll throw like, "Dude, I do this for my family, mi familia."
Yeah, right. He drops in like some like Spanglish. Like, that's awesome, dude. Well, listen, guys. Episode number 52 of Color Break. Got a big packed episode. Let me give you the rundown. All right. So we got some Transformers news. I guess there's some movie news. Christian's gonna run me through it. I don't know too much about it. I got some predictions for Christian regarding Superman and Fantastic Four. That should be fun. And then, in preparation for the Superman movie, the Fantastic Four new movies, Christian and I watched each two different old Fantastic Four and old Superman movies. So might be interesting to talk about before we head into the new ones, sort of a reboot like that. And then some James Bond news, of course, tying back into the intro. Christian dressing like James Bond.
This is an unofficial reboot episode.
Yeah.
We just rebooted this whole podcast, so like it's not crazy.
It's true, dude. It felt very timely. But dude, let's just start off with this Transformers news because we got some news in the comic front that I can run you through after. But tell me what's going on with the movie stuff.
I don't know. I mean, it's as simple as new Transformers movies are coming out and Michael Bay's coming back to direct.
Michael Bay, okay.
Yeah, so like he did the original like the trilogy, like 2006 around that time. Shia LaBeouf, Megan Fox for one movie, and then other girls for other movies because they thought that's what the movie needed, a girl. Not that they didn't need a girl, but like they needed like, oh no, we need a hot lady.
Yeah, to be fair, to be fair to Transformers, I'm not gonna stick up for Transformers very, very often, guys. You know what I'm saying? But in regards to that, a lot of these franchises, they do that like different woman every. The James Bond, obviously, we mentioned James Bond.
The Bond
Mission
girl
Impossible does that a lot too.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so yeah, continue with what you were saying.
Michael Bay is coming back. I know he did the original like 3, and then afterwards he didn't come. Maybe he produced, but he didn't direct those movies, as we know. Mark Wahlberg was in them. They didn't do that well.
Right.
Haley Steinfeld was in one of them, and I think that one's pretty good. I know a lot of people like in our community are like ride or die Transformers fans.
It's true. The Transformers heads, like it's a big community out there.
We are Transformer heads as far as like the past 20 issues of comics.
Yeah, it's tough. In regards like my feelings for the movies, I'm just like, I don't even think I saw what was the third one? Like Dark Side of the Moon, or was that second one?
That's Dark Side of the Moon. Second one is Revenge of the Fallen.
Okay, so yeah,
I rewatched them all last year, and let me tell you, they do not add like very like weird. Like Megan Fox is like 16 in the first one, and everyone's hitting on her.
Oh, that's they're in like high school.
Yeah, like someone
the second
literally
one he's in college.
Yeah, someone literally tells her at some point like, "Oh, you're like too hot to be this young," and I was like, "Whoa,
you're too hot to be this young." It's like what the
yeah.
I think. So, when you tell me that Michael Bay is coming back, I guess what are my feelings about it? It's such a whatever thing. I guess I'm so confused because it seemed like they were going in a new direction with like the Bumblebee stuff. I don't know. Was that a reboot technically?
I It felt like a sequel. I
Yeah,
think it was a sequel.
kind of a mess.
What's
I
the
thought they were
difference
doing
between
animated
a
too.
reboot and a remake?
A reboot and a remake. I guess a reboot is like a new universe that's
Yeah.
unrelated to the old one, but it's a unique story. A remake would
Oh, so
probably
it's like
be
the same. It's a retelling. Okay.
yeah, remake and retelling in my mind are kind of the same.
Okay. So yeah, those are. I think they're just like reboots. Same universe, but like new story. They don't feel
Gotcha.
like sequels though.
Yeah, so I don't know. Very so it sounds like if Michael if he's coming back, it'll be like an
Listen,
extension of
I
his
think we just needed to
own.
mention it for like all the Transformer heads
Yeah,
out there.
yeah. I'm sure you guys are losing it. You guys are
Yeah.
pumped for this. In regards to the comics, though, the comics are also going through a little bit of a shakeup. Did you
Yeah.
hear the new
Big one.
creative team that's jumping on?
I heard it and I want you to talk about it because it's. I think it's really cool. I think it's a good one.
Yeah, so we got obviously for the longest time, Danny Warren Johnson was doing the writing and the drawing for the Transformers series
Yeah.
at a Skybound Image. Then he hopped off the art, but then Jorge Corona came on, and it didn't miss a beat. I mean, it's very
No, it was
similar
great.
style
I mean,
to
I haven't
Danny
caught
Warren
up,
Johnson.
but it was like the
Mm.
art, the new art by Corona was phenomenal.
Yeah, and it seems like up until issue number 24, I think issue number 23 is coming out this next week, actually, as we record. It's going to be a new creative team jumping off for 25. It's going
Okay.
to be Robert Kirkman
Which
and
is
Dan
exciting.
Mora for the
Dan
art.
Mora is your boy.
Dan Mora is my boy, but it's interesting. I got some interesting feelings regarding this
Okay.
news.
You want to tell me?
I think I'm dropping Transformers. Is that hot? Is that a hot take?
I'm not caught up, so I cannot say it's a hot
Yeah.
take.
It's interesting to me. So like when I close my eyes and I picture a Dan Mora, like it's very clean look, right?
Okay.
And I think that Transformers, what I've been really enjoying about it is kind of the messy kind of Jorge Corona / Dan Warren Johnson
okay.
like action of it, right?
How about I say this? Maybe
Yeah.
I'll like sell you on something, which I don't have to. But
Lay it on me.
we're enjoying Void Rivals like a lot.
We
I
are.
know I
I have dropped that. I dropped that a while back.
Wow. No, it's really good.
Yeah, so it was good. So that's an interesting one because a lot of these Skybound stuff I get free with my library. So my
Nice.
thinking was I'm gonna switch to trades and then just have something on the shelf
Yeah.
and then read those
I mean,
digitally.
the thing is just Kirkman's killing it there. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be an interesting transition. I might pick it. I'll do like 3.
Okay.
I think that's a good rule. It's like you do
Yeah.
3 if you don't mess with then drop it.
Yeah. So Dan Warren Johnson hopping off. You know what the interesting part is in this news? The part that most interests me is the fact that if Dan Warren Johnson's hopping off, he just finished The Moon Is Following Us, a series out of
Yes.
Image Comics. What's Dan Warren Johnson's next thing?
Next,
And
yeah. What's his next obsession?
His next obsession, exactly. It could
Because-
be wrestling. I mean, it could be
Nah,
like
that
heavy
wrestling
metal
we got.
music.
We might be fishing for all we know.
Actually, I someone commented on my video and they said that lately, whenever he does live streams, he works on his books like while he live streams.
Nice.
And I guess he's working on like a sci-fi indie series for Image, I think. So more Daniel Warren Johnson sci-fi.
Exciting
stuff.
as always.
Yeah.
Big
Creator
fans.
owned, it sounds like. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's Transformers news. I think out of the way.
yeah.
You
You
had
killed that, dude.
Questions for me, which is normally you give me like a rundown before, like
Yeah,
week
this is a
before.
little bit of a surprise.
yeah. Let's go. I'm
So I
ready,
was
I've
just
been-
thinking. I was just thinking earlier. I'd like for you just to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you predict will be your favorite character in the Superman movie coming out of it? And then we're gonna see if we're gonna follow up and see if your predictions were.
I'm gonna look up the name.
Oh, okay. So like for the actors and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be, and it's a weird one.
Okay.
Steve Lombard, which is played by
Okay.
Beck Bennett,
I love that.
and I think it's mainly because I love Beck Bennett.
Okay, cool. So
And, like-
hopefully those characters. See, to me, that's like a third tier Superman. Not like in terms of
No,
how
but
much I like them,
in
but
general, I
hopefully
get
they get enough screen time. You know
yeah,
what I
like
mean?
for me, it's just one of those things of like the fact that they got such a powerhouse comedian to do like
Right.
Steve Lombard, who like normally like I had to look it up and be like, oh, okay, I know who he is.
Yeah, he's like the sports reporter, I think, typically,
Yeah.
and he's like the big kind of a bully to Clark at
Yeah.
some moments.
So I
So,
think like getting Beck Bennett is like, ooh, am I gonna like this guy?
ooh, yeah, because I think at some point, in some interpretations, it's like they eventually become friends. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
for
he's bullying him because he loves him.
in my head, it's like they want me to like the superheroes. So like, it's gonna be like, okay, cool, Metamorphose, cool, man. But like, they did a good casting for like the minor roles. I feel like I'm gonna be
I
like
know.
drawn to
I'm
those
looking at the IMDb right now.
because
Yeah,
it's either that or Skylar Gisondo as
Skylar Gisondo. Let me.
Skylar Gisondo plays Jimmy Olsen.
Oh, I didn't know that guy's name. Yeah, dude, the guy who
Yeah,
plays the guy who plays Jimmy Olsen. I think he's about to have like a
yeah.
landmark
But like, if we're going
role.
like like main,
Mm-mm.
I think it's gonna be Lois Lane.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. She's killer, dude. She's killer. Same question, but for Fantastic Four, what do you predict is gonna be your favorite character coming out of it?
I think it's gonna be the Thing, dude.
The Thing. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I think
hundred
it's
percent,
simple.
dude.
But I do want to like Reed. I think it's gonna be a darker Reed though. I think it's gonna be a
Ooh.
sad Reed, and I don't know if I'm down
Ooh.
for sad right now.
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna bring some of that. Yeah, Pedro Pascal's been kind of sad in a lot of his recent roles. I'm trying to think. When's the last time he's been happy?
I haven't watched Materialist.
Okay, you might be happy on that. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Which movie do you think you'll end up liking more coming out of it between the two?
I think I'm gonna end up liking Fantastic Four more stylistically, but as of yesterday, really, I
Mm.
got really like excited about it. Like I'm like giddy about it.
Dude, it's building, dude. It's building.
It's building, and no, it was today. I watched like a 25-minute interview Nerdist did
Ooh,
with the
okay.
cast. They talk about like their like, oh, like what's like a nerdy like obsession you have, and it got me really excited. I was like, okay, I think I'm in for this.
I love that, dude.
But I think like it. I still had the problem of like it's too many people, it's too many
Too many.
characters.
Yeah, it's throwing a lot at like yeah, absolutely. Which movie do you think will have the better villain? Which I guess in the Fantastic Four, like I guess Galactus and maybe Silver Surfer might be like an initial villain or an antagonist.
I think Galactus might be cooler because I like a villain that feels threatening to me.
Okay,
I
you're not scared
not
of bald guys.
listen. I'm scared of balding.
Balding, yeah, yeah.
I like bald guys. Though. They're cool. I just don't want to be one of them. I think my thing is Lex has never been a villain that I'm like, oh my god, I love Lex. I
Okay,
think
yeah.
Lex Luthor is so cool. Like it's just a guy.
Yeah, yeah. Right. I think Nicholas Holt's gonna kill it, but yeah,
Oh
my
no,
feelings of Lex Luthor.
he's gonna be
Yeah.
great. But I've never been a Lex Luthor fan, so like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. In Superman, do we see Batman or Wonder Woman? Like, do we
uh
get any?
they're referenced, but we or maybe you see like a silhouette. You will not
Okay,
see a definitive actor for either role.
okay. That's kind of how I'm feeling too. Might be a little bit too early. Who makes it to the other universe, or I guess like who's in the ship? I think we talked about it earlier. Who's in the ship at the end of Thunderbolts or whatever? Like, who's making it over?
I think it might be. I don't think Sue's making it for some reason. I
Dang,
think
bro, they're killing her.
she will be in Doomsday.
Okay,
But I don't think she's making it on the ship.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like maybe she'll
I
like they
think
get to Battle World and they're like, oh,
I
she
think
didn't die.
because
Like she's been alive the whole time.
I
Kind of
think
thing.
because we need to see Johnny suffer. I don't want him to
Right.
suffer, but I feel like that would be like to sister. Like we've
Right.
seen Johnny die enough times
Right.
in comics. I think if Sue dies, Reed's a single dad.
Right.
Johnny is, like an uncle. He's a brother without a sister. That's impactful. I
It's
think
kind of like
that's
their
probably,
Infinity War moment or whatever, right?
yeah. I think that's gonna be like a really big like, and maybe
Like they lose. Yeah.
Ben will sacrifice himself. Like we see a lot of Ben in action,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think Sue's not making it.
Okay. Last question, dude. Is James Gunn in this goddamn movie?
He's gonna be, and it's gonna annoy me.
Yeah.
Love James Gunn.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Under the gun, yeah.
I think like for cameos like that, like I like the subtlety of a Marvel cameo, like Stan Lee.
Right.
I think in this one he's gonna be in it, and it's gonna be
Like he's
like,
gonna
"Huh!"
force it, and he's like trying to be the
Yeah,
Stanley of the DC or whatever.
yeah. Or maybe
Yeah.
like it's not even him. Like they told him like, hey, you should. Like I'm not. I don't think
Right. Right.
he's
Right.
that like because he would have done it in Guardians. You know.
Right. See, to me, I think and the reason why I came up with that is because when we were watching Creature Commandos, which I still haven't finished, by the way, I gotta finish that, but we were
Same.
watching Creature Commandos, and he's in the intro, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing him on the comic side, some of the variant covers that'll have like David Cornsweet
Yeah.
Superman, fucking James Gunn's in it. It's like, dude,
I will say I think like he did mention that it wasn't his idea to put himself in the intro.
okay, that's
for Creature Commandos. I did
okay.
read that somewhere. The newspaper or something old people like us would do.
Yeah, you're flipping through the paper, dude. The post. Look at this guy, dude.
Never got
You
the
dress
technique.
like it.
I never got the technique right of like using a newspaper.
But yeah, those are my prediction questions. So
Those
thanks
are
for
good
going
ones.
through with that, me dude. It'll be interesting to see how things shake out as we head into the craziest. I'm trying to think, dude, because like movies, summertime in the past. When's like the last big, like Barbenheimer? Sure, but like two big mega movies of this caliber. You know what I mean? That are gonna
let me
change
check.
everything.
Give me 1 second.
Like I'm trying to think of the last summer that had two hotly anticipated within the same month too, like within a week of each other or whatever it is.
I'll let you know right now.
'Cause, I feel like typically, last however many years has been Marvel kind of dominating that, and then
So 2017 we got Justice League.
okay,
And we got Spider-Man: Homecoming, Thor: Ragnarok. Like there was no big ones like that.
right. So this
Guardians
feels like
Guardians 2 maybe.
okay, yeah. So this feels like a big moment, dude. I'm
We've
ready
had
for
like
it.
a lot of bad movies come out together.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really greatly anticipating both Superman
Yeah.
and Fantastic Four. And in order to get ready for both of them, Christian and I had the idea of watching an old Superman and an old
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, and maybe using that to compare for the future. And I think that what do you want to start with? The Fantastic
I want to
Four
go
picks?
first with Superman because like
Okay.
I have like not a hot take, but like I have a comment to say. I did
Okay.
not finish it
Okay, wow. Okay,
on
that says
purpose.
a lot.
On purpose.
Yeah.
I watched Superman Returns with Brandon Routh as
That was your
Superman.
pick. Nice.
I will say it's sort of like a sequel to the OG Superman movies. It's
Okay.
meant to be like a sequel.
Right, okay.
It's not an origin story. Like he starts from the get go. Like he's already
Right.
Superman. He actually disappears for a while and comes back.
Okay, yep.
For me, the reason why I didn't finish it is as simple as Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey's in it, bro.
He's Lex Luthor.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was one of those things where
Which
like
at the time is pretty good casting, not gonna lie.
no, I didn't like it. Like listen, I know how we feel about Kevin Spacey like now.
Yeah.
But like if
But-
I watch Usual Suspects, I'm gonna enjoy it. Like
Mm-hmm.
like I can still separate that part of like okay, like he's a good actor and like like I haven't watched American Beauty, but like I know a lot of people recommend it, like things like that where like I don't support him and I don't want to support him.
Right.
But like if I see him in a movie and he's doing good, I'm not gonna be like but I don't like him as Lex Luthor at all.
Okay.
I don't think the movie was well like scripted. It feels like too messy.
Yeah.
Like coming into a story that's already being told. I do have to say, I think Brandon Routh is a phenomenal Superman.
That's what everybody says. I mean, looking back, right? It's been I don't even remember anything about this movie, dude. But the one thing I do remember is that he plays a pretty good Superman. That's
He's
what everybody
very
says about
like
it, right?
hopeful. Like it's like it gives you hope.
Right.
I don't like the blue contacts they gave him.
Okay, right.
They're very blue.
I got you. Like
They're
too
like
blue, yeah.
They're like for the video viewers, they're like this.
Okay.
They're very blue. But yeah, no, I didn't like. The movie's not great, but I do like Brandon Routh, and it's sad that he didn't get to like really. I know he did Superman in Crisis and Infinite Earths on the CW, and that was pretty cool.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think he got the short end of the stick. He got a bad movie. It's like the same as Grant Gustin, where I'm like, Grant Gustin's the perfect Flash.
Right.
He just got bad scripts.
Yeah. What
Also,
do you?
speaking of the Flash, got a little Flash right there.
Hey, oh, hey.
Yeah.
Mine's over there underneath the pile of action figures I got unboxed.
But yeah, no, that's just my take of the movie. It's not great. I don't like Lex Luthor.
So how far did
And
you get into this
I
rewatch
got like
or
more
whatever?
than halfway through.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
What even? I guess like in the story of it, like what's like. I don't even know because you were saying it's like Superman coming back or whatever. It's like
Yeah, so
spiritual
he's like
successor to the
disappeared for a while.
OGs.
He like crash lands at the farm,
Okay.
and like he's like, I gotta go back to the city, ma.
Right.
Whatever. He goes back to the city to being a reporter again. Jimmy Olsen's like, dude,
Who plays Jimmy Olsen? I mean,
I forgot his name, dude. I
get
literally
into
just
this.
this was yesterday. I don't know how I forgot his name. Basically, Lois married someone. You know, she has a kid. I don't know if it's
5 years in space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lois married someone else. He's pretty sad about it, but like Jimmy's like, if you ask me, she's still into that guy, you know. And she's talking about Superman. Sam Huntington.
Yep. Sam Huntington. Yep.
I will say my favorite thing about it is that Lois Lane married James Marsden.
Okay. I see James Marsden here. Yeah.
I like it because James Marsden is like a perpetual like side character, and I hate it. Like he's such a good actor, dude.
I know he needs some like starring roles.
Yeah, like I need James Marsden. Like me and my mom always joke about the fact that like he was in Hop, he was in Sonic, he was in Enchanted.
Dead to Me, he was in.
Dead to Me, and he's just a side character, and he plays two side characters technically.
Yeah, he does. He does play two side characters.
Yeah. What else was he in? Like X-Men. He dies.
True. Yeah.
I had one. What else? Oh, he's in Jury Duty, where he's just a guy.
he's in
just
Jury
himself.
Duty.
He's not the main character in Jury Duty either. Like,
yep.
And he deserves a little. Oh, he's in like the new Precedent show from like Hulu or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole plot of the show is that he dies.
Yep.
So in the Notebook,
Justice for James Marsden.
In the Notebook, he plays the guy who Rachel McAdams goes to after Ryan Gosling.
Right, and then so then she leaves James Marsden to go to Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, and then Superman, same thing, dude.
Yep.
That's Superman for me. Superman Returns, not a great movie. Brandon Routh, surprisingly really great. And who plays Lois Lane? Kate Bosworth. She was really good.
Kate Bosworth. She
really
doesn't really look like a Lois Lane to me. Was she blonde in the movie?
No.
Okay.
No. Look at let me see. Let me see if I can show it to you so you don't have to like look it up. She had like dark like light brown hair. She was good.
Okay, that looks like okay. Right on, dude. So that was your pick, Superman Returns. The movie that I picked, okay?
Yeah.
I picked Superman 1998, dude. The OG.
Okay.
The OG, which I didn't know a lot about this movie going in, right? It's the first movie that was widescreen in color, I guess. Is that
what year? 1998?
78.
1978. I have watched all of those. Really good. I love Christopher Reeve, dude.
Dude, this movie, I haven't seen it in I haven't seen this movie since I'm like 10 or something. It's been so long.
It's been longer for me, probably.
This movie kicks ass. This movie kicks so much ass, bro.
My favorite thing about that movie is his transformation from Clark to Superman.
Yes.
Because he physically, when he's Clark, he's like...
Yep.
And when he's Superman, like, it's so subtle, but like, it really works.
Yeah, there is like a real transformation to it. He pulled it off super well. In fact, that's one of my notes. Is that he sells the Clark persona really well.
Yeah.
And it made it totally believable. Like the fact that he's, playing it off, he's like clumsy and stuff, right? They all see him being clumsy and they're like, dude, Superman, why would Superman be spilling coffee on him? Like, there's no way, right? It makes no sense. So I get it. It gives it a lot of context to why everyone's always joking, like, how would they not be able to tell? It's like, no, guys, listen. When the Clark Kent persona is played up like this, it makes a ton of sense, dude.
I like it. It's a good one. I watched all of those.
Yep.
And they're
I
pretty
think
great.
I'm gonna watch which I don't know about the sequels two, 3, and 4. I've heard
4 is not
mixed
great. 4,
or
like there's a lot that goes into 4 and why it's not great. He didn't even
yeah,
want to be Superman anymore. He said he was getting too old.
I got you, dude. So but in this new one, right? I've just got a series of notes that maybe we can talk about as we
Okay.
go. So part on Krypton a tad too long. So like the very beginning,
Yeah.
the whole thing before the planet of Krypton explodes, you got that Marlon Brando
The
performance where he
white
plays.
suit.
Yeah, dude,
Who
it's a
also
vibe,
played
dude.
he also plays Jor-El in the Superman Returns.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so that's kind of
Yeah.
the connection there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But dude, you mentioned the white suits. The kind of look on Krypton was kind of a vibe. I
I
really enjoyed.
like how
Yeah.
like gloomy, like not gloomy, but like glowy it is.
Yes, yes. Everything's like illuminating or whatever,
Yeah,
like
there's like a
luminescent.
fog to it that like
Right,
makes
and
it
they're
like
on like the ice, like crystally sort of
it's
planet.
great. It is
Um,
really cool, but
I
it's
just found it
long.
to be a little bit too long. I think it ended up being. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments, guys, or whatever. But I think it was like 20 minutes. I'm like, all right, guys, let's
Yeah,
get to the let's get to the main part of the movie.
yeah.
Um, I would say too, Pa dies way too fast. He has
Okay.
he's in the movie for like literally 3. Actually, in fact, I think the Ma Kent's not even in the movie that long either. At least in this first one, maybe that changes in the sequels. But Pa Kent dies way too fast too. There's a scene where he sees the baby for the first time, and then it cuts to Clark in high school or whatever, and he's giving him like a pep talk, and then he literally dies. Like he has a heart
Does he
attack and
do?
just
Does
dies.
he do the?
He's like, no, he doesn't do the tornado thing, but something
The
kind of
Kevin
similar where
Costner.
he dies before Superman, where he can like realize it and see what Superman becomes, which was just a little bit
Yeah.
sad. But like you're talking about in the Superman Returns, you got to have an importance. It's important to have a good side cast for the Superman
Yeah.
character.
It's important,
This
dude.
Jimmy, this Lois, and this the Chief, they
Mm-hmm.
nailed it, bro.
Yeah.
So they killed it. Like this Lois nailed it, bro. I don't know her name.
Is that the one where
Uh,
she jumps off the falls, or is that 2?
that must be 2 because I don't think that was in
She
1.
doesn't know he's Superman. Yeah.
No, not in this one. It ends in fact with her not knowing either
So
in this one.
in the second or third, I'm not trying to spoil it. It's been like
No, you're
50
good.
years, dude.
Yeah.
I think she jumps off like Niagara Falls to try to say,
Okay.
like, Clark, I think you're Superman. So she jumps and he doesn't save, like he saves her, but like by doing human things.
I gotcha.
He like runs around like, oh, Lois.
So in this one, there was a moment where he was thinking about telling her, but then he cuts it off and he puts the glasses back on and shrinks
Yeah.
himself back and
It's
yeah.
that like fear of her getting hurt more than anything.
True. And the other thing I have is, man, the flying in this movie actually kind of is a vibe, dude. It actually
It's
kind of
good.
works really well, especially for the time, I guess. Right? Like it looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
I guess the only part maybe where it doesn't and it kind of loses me a little bit is when he's flying with Lois. It's like that's
Okay.
not how it would
Yeah,
look,
no.
I guess, if you're flying
I
with someone. But
I've always had the problem with like flying with someone, like they would probably die.
yeah, like you wouldn't hold out with just their hand, like they'd be whipped back. Or whatever
Whenever
it is,
he like catches someone, I'm like that person would be dead immediately upon contact with you.
unless yeah. I don't know, Superman. There must be some comic explanation for if he like does that before.
It's the Iron Man thing of like if Iron Man did that like 90-degree like drop he does, his organs would like drop down, dude.
I love that, dude. But yeah, and then the last note that I have is, dude, the romance really works. I like seeing Lois and Superman fly around. Yeah, I thought this movie was great. The only thing was just the ending.
They're
But
campy as hell, but
yeah, they're campy as hell, but they really kind of work.
Yeah.
And it's really just is that ending that I just wasn't a fan of. This is the classic ending where Lois dies, she drowns in dirt, which is a pretty like morbid way to die.
yeah.
But then Superman flies around the earth and reverses time. That's like the only part I'm like, guys, why? Why not just have her like she's drowning from the dirt, but Superman?
That's not the one where he freezes the lake, right?
No. I don't think the lake was frozen. In this one, there was like all the bombs that Lex Luthor was shooting off, right?
Hmm.
they were gonna hit California and cause California to sink into the ocean, so that way Lex Luthor has more coastline for his
Yeah.
properties or whatever.
Yeah.
And the way Superman stops, like one of the dams blows up, but Superman like knocks a bunch of rocks down, and that's what blocks it. No freezing of a lake, I don't think.
I think he does that in one of them, and then he like
Okay,
lifts up the lake. He picks it
interesting.
up.
Yeah. So I mean, this one was great, dude, because it showed Superman doing like regular crime stopping stuff, like in the
Yeah.
city of Metropolis. He's doing insane Superman stuff, like lifting
Yeah.
stuff and crushing rocks and everything. Um,
Do you
and
have
I
a
really
favorite
think they
moment?
just nailed the Superman character. Favorite moments, I guess the ending was pretty cool. Just seeing Superman zip around, he's under the clock trying to do it all. The
Hmm.
only thing was just the reversing of time.
Okay. I feel it's
Um,
how I
yeah,
feel about Superman Returns when he gets shot in the eye.
he gets shot in the eye, like
He,
directly in his eye.
yeah, like a robber like
Yeah, yeah.
shoots him in the eye.
There's a
This is
moment. Yeah, there's a moment where
the
in
bullet just like hits his eye and
yep.
crumbles.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
In this one, there's a robber, and he's Clark Kent with Lois Lane, and the robber like shoots or whatever and runs off, but Clark Kent had caught the bullet, but he
Yeah.
caught it where Lois didn't see, it, and then he drops it on the side.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, I'm just like totally sold. It was a great Superman movie. It's been so long since I've seen it, and now that I've seen it, dude, it's a fucking certified banger
You know,
classic
I love him.
in terms of superhero movies, dude. This is like up there, bro. This is
No,
up there,
I
100%.
agree. It's one of those things where like the comics code authority made a lot of the characters really like for kids.
Mm.
And I feel like Superman is the only one where that worked a little bit. Like it's not entirely for kids, but it's more,
Mm.
happy, colorful. And I think that really works for
Good
those
natured.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like yeah, I don't know, they just killed it. What a great Superman movie, especially the first one, I guess, to my knowledge. Like besides there's like black and white one back in the day with it.
Yeah. I think you're gonna enjoy him. You're gonna keep watching.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it going. But yeah, that was just like such an enjoyable watch, and it got me more hyped up for this new interpretation of Superman, knowing that this one is a big inspiration. Obviously, same music, right, going into the new one, the classic score, of course. One other thing I guess I will say, because we were talking about Lex Luthor earlier, the Lex Luthor here is kind of just not my favorite. Not my favorite of.
I think it's a trend. And
it's a trend. It's hard to do Lex
Jesse
well, I guess. Yeah, Jesse, right. So it's like, I guess it obviously Lex Luthor is a character that's overgone a lot of changes in the last couple decades and stuff, right? Making him more menacing and serious stuff like that. So this was before all that.
He was
so
just
yeah, not a fan of
I'm
Lex
gonna
Luthor.
blow the tri-state area.
Yeah, it's very like hokey sort of villain stuff, but in terms of the Superman, the Lois, the Jimmy Olsen, they just knocked it out of the park, dude. So yeah, that was my pick. Superman 78.
You want to go for FF?
Yes, and I'm very curious because you chose one that might be hard for people to find, in fact. So which one? Tell me about your pick here.
My pick is none other than Fantastic Four from 1994.
1994.
Unreleased.
Okay.
You can find it online. Like I found it. Like it didn't take me a long time.
Was this like a made-for-TV thing or something like that?
So
like, was this gonna be in the theaters?
Concerned, whoever had the rights for I didn't do like all the research. Whoever had the rights was gonna lose them. So it was like we need to like do something with the fan before we lose the rights.
I gotcha.
And they made it. It was just like retain the rights, and the movie never came out. Listen, it's not amazing.
Right. You were sending me pictures as you were watching it.
Yeah. It's not incredible. It's like really silly. Alicia Masters shows up, which I'm always gonna appreciate.
Okay.
She's a Ben Grimm's wife in the comics.
Yep.
She does.
Alicia?
Yeah, Alicia Masters. She does play a damsel in distress, which kind of sucked because she's like a really dope character in the comics. She's never like the damsel in distress in my eyes. She's like his rock, which is no pun intended.
Nailed it.
And dude, like, it's not bad. Like, I mean, it's a 2 out of 5. Like, that's why I rated it on Letterboxd. It's a 2 out of 5.
Gotcha.
Which is not great in the grand scheme of like what movies are.
Right.
But I'll read you my review.
Yeah, dude, just lay it on me, man.
Listen, it's not great, but there's a campiness to it that I like better than any scene in Fan Four Stick.
Yeah. So you prefer it more
Yeah,
than Fan Four Stick?
yeah, 100%. Fan Four Stick had
Gotcha.
no heart.
No heart, not even close.
This
Not
was that's
even
the
the
thing. Like you're watching this knowing what it was never released. It's campy as hell. Like you cannot be too angry.
right.
Um, the whole thing. Victor Von Doom dies like 10 years before like the main story happens.
Okay.
But like Reed thinks he died. But like then like Doctor Doom shows up after they get his powers because Doom steals a crystal that they were gonna use in space. So
Okay.
they're in space. They use the wrong like the fake crystal. They get their powers. Then they get back to Earth. Doom kidnaps them, pretending to be like government agents. Like his goons are government agents. And then like, they kidnap Alicia Masters for some reason.
Damsels in distress. Right. Right.
Yeah. Um, Ben Grimm can lose his like rock form, and then he can get angry again, like the Hulk in one scene.
Interesting.
They didn't get the characters, but it was a good time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching it. When I watch it again, no, it was like horribly shot. Like it was like a VHS scan of the movie.
Okay.
You could see like the glitches.
I gotcha. Yeah.
But him finding out Doom is Victor Von Doom was really cool.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that was like a reveal in the movie. Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad.
How long is it? Like regular movie length?
It's like an hour 28. Let's see. Fantastic Four is 90 minutes. Hour 30.
Okay.
Not bad. Superman was like 2 hours something.
Right, and yeah, you didn't even make it through that, so it sounds like this is more worth your time.
Yeah.
Dude, you know
I will say, like, the part I enjoyed is how bad the effects were.
Okay.
Because it makes it, like, enjoyable. Like, it's like, oh my god, that's so silly. That's really silly. And honestly, I did not hate Ben Grimm's look, even though it looks horrible.
Right.
I'll still take that, like, not to, like, go back to Fan Four Stick. But, like, you saw it. I said, would you take that Ben Grimm from 1994 or the Fan Four Stick rock formation?
It's tricky because the rock formation, I don't know. You know what really gets me about this one is the eyes. It's really about the eyes on this one, guys. So if you didn't have the eyes, then
oh, and by the way, Kody,
like, the texture of it is fine.
I want to say something.
What's up?
Cody's showing. Look at how bad the quality is of that picture, right? Cody, can you put it up again?
Yeah. This is how you originally sent it to me.
Yeah,
So
that's not me taking a picture of my TV playing the movie. That's a screenshot of the actual movie that I took.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough, guys.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, go watch it if you like Fantastic Four. It's like, as a fan, it's like I watched this thing. You know, like it's a part of the history. And, at least I got to watch it.
Is that in like a? Because I know that in the '90s there were like a series of Marvel. Is this in like the same kind of line or whatever?
No, this just
okay.
It's its own thing.
Dang, dude. Okay. Unreleased.
Go for yours. Go for yours.
Okay.
Let's end this time.
So the one that I watched, guys, I've never seen this movie before. I watched Fantastic Four: Rise of the Surfer.
Okay.
So,
hot take from my side. Oh, I'll let you go first.
No. You tell me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts. Go. Because you didn't watch it for this time. But
really good Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I would say that. I would agree with that.
Really bad Galactus.
Yeah. Terrible Galactus, dude.
As much as I hate everything about this movie, that final Johnny fight scene.
The end
is pretty sick.
Yeah, it's sick in some parts. It's a little. So okay. I guess it kind of gets into my just initial general thoughts coming out of the movie. I'm just not a fan of like the tone of it. Like I get it's trying to be goofy, but then
it's too goofy.
It's almost like too goofy. Like if it was more serious, but then the characters were funny. Like you get Johnny doing his stuff, like the stuff with him and the thing, like the kind of banter or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it feels like some of the characters, like the military people, like they're all super serious.
Oh my god! And what's his name? Goofy. What's his name is in it? Andrew.
He's in a ton of stuff. The military dude.
Yeah.
He's in. He's a military dude. He's like typecast as a military dude. Like
no. That I'm talking about. He just passed, actually.
Someone who
Let me
just
see.
passed. But so yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like my. I feel like the tone kind of clashes. I don't know. It feels goofy in a way that like the Scooby Doo movies did, like from
Him.
James Gunn or
I
whatever.
like him a lot.
Yeah, that's the guy who I was talking about. He's
Yeah.
like he's in a
Yeah.
military
He
all
was
the
in
time.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was really
And
good in it. I liked him
yeah,
in Fantastic Four.
and yeah, so I guess that's just my biggest problem with it is just like the tone of the movie.
They did not get the right tone.
Yeah, but there are some kind of gems. Like the comedy for the most part didn't land with me, but there are some funny parts like this. The Thing on a plane. That's hilarious. Like
Oh
in a
yeah.
small sea, everybody's like, ah,
That's
dude,
really
this guy's
funny.
taking a lot
I
of
did
room.
laugh at that.
The Thing at the club, there's like a little bit where he's like
Oh, that's where is that the part where Reed does the club thing?
yeah, he does
He's
like
like
a
with the girls.
because it's supposed to be a bachelor party. So
Yeah.
Johnny and the Thing took him
That's
on a
he
bachelor
does the
party.
move where he's like,
Yeah, he does like the really creepy stuff with his fingers. Just in general, dude, because you're mentioning the CG and stuff for the
Yeah.
94 one. The CG in this one was pretty decent. Like it was pretty good actually. There were some parts where it looked a little iffy, but in general, the stretching stuff looked
yeah. I'm gonna
pretty
tell you
good.
my favorite VFX shot in that entire movie.
Okay.
Silver Surfer going through the board to stand
Yeah.
upside down.
Dude,
Phenomenal.
all the Silver Surfer shit kind of slapped, not gonna lie. Like the chase scene, there's a chase scene between the Torch and the Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought that
the
was
first
sick.
appearance of the Surfer.
Yep.
Dude.
The special effects are super solid, like we were saying, except for weirdly the opening title sequence looks like dog shit. Looks like fucking dog shit. It's like showing you space, but it's like one of those things where it looks like a picture of space.
Oh,
not
yeah.
really, you know what I mean? So yeah, but in general, the CG is like actually pretty decent.
No, it's not bad.
Yeah,
It's really not bad.
Surfer looks great, like we were mentioning. I think that this movie, like watching the first one, I probably watched it like maybe 2 years ago or something, and never saw the sequel, except for this time. This kind of sold me on the cast. Like the cast, they kind of work together. Like at first, maybe the Chris Evans is honestly Chris Evans is probably the one I'm least feeling in this movie.
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't
not
like
sold as him as
the
Johnny
weird
Storm.
like Sue Storm and Silver Surfer relationship that they try to make you feel like there's something there.
Yeah, there's like a little like I guess stuff with because I guess Silver Surfer sees her as like Reed's because he talks the Silver Surfer's like, oh, I left a girl on my planet or whatever. So I guess he kind of sees that in her. So you're mentioning the Galactus. Yeah, that's kind of lame, dude. The fact that Galactus is just a gas giant or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact that it gets taken care of super quick. Like it's this
Yeah.
impending doom. You got and then you get
Doom?
Silver Surfer flying up and he goes and then he does that and then the gas is gone or whatever. So I'm like, okay.
But I enjoy the final fight scene where like I don't like Doom, but like Doom with the board.
Yeah, the doom on the board.
And just it's the one shot of like Johnny being invisible and then he becomes visible with the fire fist like that's stretchy and it's like rock.
Yeah.
I like that part. Like that punch is something else.
That was cool, I will say. There's like but then so like it'll do a cool thing like that, but then like a couple seconds later, it's like it looks kind of goofy. He's like wrapping Doom up, and he's like, and then it's like, okay, man, you just did something cool, and then you kind of throw it out the window. They did the same thing with the Fantastic Four cars.
Yeah,
they were like going chasing Doom, and it was super sick, right? But then like Doom, he's like, I'm gonna do a tornado move, and he spins and it gets all the Fantastic car. And like, why'd you do that? It's like lame. You were just doing a cool thing, and then you just like step on the rake, and it immediately becomes lame. I don't know.
What would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10, dude. Okay, so out of 10, this movie is kind of a 6, dude. Not gonna lie, it's way hated on.
It's not as bad as people think.
Yeah, it's way not as bad as people think.
Once again, would you watch it over Fan 4 Stick?
I'd watch this over Fan 4 Stick.
There we go.
I wouldn't watch it. Like I'd probably rather just do neither, but I'd watch this more than.
That's
Fan
the
4
metric.
Stick.
Would you watch this over Fan 4 Stick?
And dude, it had me wondering. Like at the very end of it, I was like, man, why wasn't there a third one of this? Because it really seems like they were getting somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like they're building this.
They ran out of villains, dude.
ran out of villains. Yeah. This Doom, I hate this Doom in the same way that I hated, like you hated the the Lex Luthor in your movie, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
hated the Doom in this one. I just hate that actor. He's like, he just, I don't know. He looks like an asshole. I just hate his fucking face. Put your mask on. You're supposed to be Doom, you piece of shit.
Yeah,
I
I
hate him,
feel you.
right? And I don't know. Yeah, so this version of Doom was lame as hell. I don't know why they can't get Doom right. Uh, and now they got RDJ, so they're not even trying to get like a good Doom
I
right
don't.
there.
I think the RJ thing is a misdirection.
Yeah,
I stand by that. I don't
yeah. I
think
mean, they're
it's what we
filming
think.
that now, so they're filming it now or whatever.
I think like, dude, like with the backlash, they could not be like, no, 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 trust us. I think they're like, oh, fuck, we gotta do something.
And so, like, the last thing I will say, like, leading off my last point, where I can't believe there's a third movie. I guess this was in 2007 when this movie came out. The next year, the Iron Man movie came out.
Yeah.
So I get why they didn't do a third one. It's because Marvel just started eating their fucking lunch, dude. So I get it. I
Ah,
get it. This movie might have came out maybe around the same time as the Hulk, then, right? Because wasn't the
yeah.
Hulk technically
Hulk
before
2?
Iron Man?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah. So
No, I
that's
think
what
Iron Man's number one. I think
Iron
Iron
Man
Man's
was.
first.
I can't remember.
Iron Man first, yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So the next year, MCU
Eric
would
Bana's
kick
Hulk
off
came
and
out before.
right. Yeah, yeah.
That's the confusion.
But yeah, so that's what I had, dude. Watching
Uh,
Superman the classic and then Rise of the Silver Surfer. It'll be interesting to see how both movies handle the Surfer, how they both handle Galactus, and then in the Superman movie, how they all handle
yeah.
the whole thing. I mean, the
Okay.
start of Superman's journey. So yeah, that's what we got.
I Before we jump into James Bond,
Yes,
instead I
dude, you
want
got
to
a
talk
rant.
about Harry Potter.
I'm
And
settling in for the
listen,
rant.
it is a rant. I talked about it with our friend Ivan, Euro's gift.
Yep.
And I'm speaking as a minority here
Okay.
about the new Harry Potter show
Right.
on Max or
Very
HBO
controversial
Max,
for
whatever
good
the heck.
reason. J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit.
No, not that. Ignore that.
Not even
Although,
about this.
don't ignore it. She is a piece of shit. Actually, all my homies hate J.K. Rowling.
It's true.
They casted everyone, and there's two characters that have been recasted as minorities.
Okay.
Uh, I think there's the wrong casting, and now people would be like, "Oh, like, are you just a problem with like a black man like playing Snape or like a mixed
Okay,
girl
that's what. Okay,
playing
yeah, playing Snape. That's what it
Hermione?"
was.
I'm gonna say why. You picked the two worst characters to change the race to, and I'll
Right.
say why. The whole thing in the first movie is that Harry just doesn't trust Snape.
Yep.
Snape has done nothing to him in the first movie.
Right.
Like, but from the get go, Harry just looks at him. He's like, "Oh, I don't know what it is about that guy, but I don't like him. I
Right.
don't trust him at all." And it's just like looking at the other cast of professors. Like, this is the only person of color in the entire professor pool,
Right.
and he's the only one where this little white boy is gonna look at him and be like, "I don't
I
know
don't
how I feel
trust
about
him.
this man."
Right. Right. Because initially, that's like not the first villain, but if Harry Potter's like running into like he's the first kind of
Yeah.
antagonist, right? It's like Snape. And,
Turns out he's not a bad guy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is like, if you're gonna cast a minority, don't make it the guy who he visually doesn't trust
I got
for
you. Yeah.
no reason at all in the beginning.
Right.
Like,
You're
there's
kind
a
of setting up that actor to
yeah,
like,
there's
get a lot of hate.
there's a villain in the movie, and it's not Snape, but Harry thinks it's Snape the whole time because he looks suspicious. Now
Yep.
make it the only black professor in the movie that Harry's just like, "Oh, that guy's suspicious." It's just
gotcha.
wrong. And then I don't specifically know what race Hermione is. She is a mixed girl as far as I know, which, like, once again, really cool. Please bring more races into movies. Like, I'm tired of just seeing white people. But you're bringing the only character who has insulted the whole movie by calling her a mudblood and an impure blooded wizard.
I gotcha. Yep. Right. You're setting that actress
Yeah.
up to fail too.
Not only that, like, it's just like you're gonna see like a girl, like a minority, be called an impure race the whole show.
Right. Yeah. And if you don't, then you're I guess straying from the source material.
Yeah.
Like you're changing it that way,
Yeah.
which
Hey,
could be for the
grab
best. But
Dumbledore, make him any race you want. Grab Harry,
Right.
make him any like it doesn't matter. But just think before you pick the characters,
Right.
because you're
Right.
just
Right.
setting them up for failure, dude. That's just
So
like my thing. It's like, and I wanted to mention it because it's a reboot, and we're talking about James Bond. People wanted Idris Elba. That's really cool. I love
mm,
Idris Elba. That would be dope. He's like older, so he won't do it. But
right.
like that's the thing. Like you could do it. James Bond doesn't need to be anyone specifically other than a British person.
Right.
But dude, like at least do your research on what happens to the character. We're gonna see Harry's dad at some point bully Snape as a kid.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that's my rant. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. It's a good rant. It's an important rant. I guess for me, it's like this project just seems like a shit show before it
Yeah,
even
no, it
starts. You know what I
doesn't
mean?
need
So
to.
it's like
I do like Nick Frost as Hagrid.
Nick Frost is Hagrid, but I guess the whole thing with it is you can't like talk about the show without. I mean, talking about the J.K. Rowling of it
No,
all. I
yeah,
mean,
100%.
she's
I'm
so I
I,
think
the
yeah,
reason why I was happy when they were like, oh, like they're gonna recast some people. I was like, I hope there are minorities in the show because of J.K. Rowling. She
right. It's
just
kind of a
seems like the worst person in the world, and that she would hate it. So I was like, cool.
yeah,
And then I see who it is, and I'm like, say, hey, keep those same actors. Like I think they got picked for a reason. Like they got casted because they're good actors, right?
mm,
And I'm afraid of what the reaction is gonna be and how those it's gonna go.
yeah, dude. It's certainly in that world. Like I mean, social media. Yeah, they're just gonna eat them alive. Like no matter what they do, and yeah, I don't know.
It's a hot take. I literally I talked to Ivan as another minority,
Right.
and he was like, "Yeah, no, that's insane." I was like, "Can I talk about it on the pod?" He was, "Yeah."
Yeah, dude.
And
No, that's a. I'm glad
it's
you kind of
just
brought it
like
up because it is.
we need more minorities in movies, 100%. You know why? Because they're not minorities. Because if you look outside, you're not gonna see white people all around.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's just not how life works. So like, minorities is not a thing. Like it's every race is everywhere you go. So that's important. Bring them into the show. Bring them into the movies. But like, check which casting you're gonna do.
Right. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's my rant. And if I'm wrong, like please educate me. Whoever, I'm always happy to listen and learn. I just that's my first thought process.
Yeah, yeah. I got you there. So like Christian was saying, right? We did want to talk about the James Bond stuff too, because that's another like they could be stepping on a rake too when it comes to that casting.
Yeah.
That's kind of maybe a good place to start. So Amazon they released this. It was leaked or whatever from Variety. Amazon's casting wish list, and we'll talk about the
Yeah.
director that was chosen too, the director news. But Variety states that they're looking at Tom Holland, Jacob Elordi, and Harrison Dickinson, and it's like
I like all of those actors individually, but like none of them
like
sell James Bond to me. We just watched Casino Royale.
yes,
And
which
let's
I
not
do
get
want
too
to
much
talk
into
about.
it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just
We
like
talk
quick
about near the
thoughts.
end, or not?
Good
You want to talk
movie.
about now,
Yeah, good movie.
dude?
The
It's badass.
theme, the like just the tone, it's so dark, it's so like I don't think any of them could pull it off. Jacob Elordi is probably like out of all those three, probably my choice.
That out of those three, I guess I would have to go with Jacob Elordi. But like you're saying, dude, I don't know about any of them. Why would
Maybe
Amazon? It's like an algorithm chose this casting. Like what? Just go for an unknown or something. You know what I mean? Like
I would honestly even take someone like let me think. Dev Patel. British guy.
Dude, Dev Patel is my number one pick. After seeing Monkey Paw, wait, no, not Monkey Paw, Monkey Man, dude. Monkey Man is badass. This guy
I
can
think
act. He can do his own
Dev
stunts.
Patel is great, dude. I would take a Dev Patel. He's a British actor. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't think any of the three that were mentioned can really kick it out of the park. And I hope,
Awful picks, dude. It's terrible.
being Amazon, I hope these movies don't look like the show Reacher. Mind you, I don't think the show
Right.
Reacher is bad.
Okay.
It's just most Amazon projects have a look to them.
It might end up looking like Jack Ryan or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm just. I don't
It's
know.
very this initial news for the casting, their wish list, has got me a little worried, right? But then you look at their director,
Then we
the
got
director picks. So
Den-
initially, this was initial before Denny was picked, right? and I kind of want to get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
In these alternate universes we could be living in, Edward Berger. Some of these names I'm not familiar with, right? Edward Berger, Denny, right? Denny Villeneuve,
Denis
uh,
Villeneuve,
Edgar Wright, Jonathan Nolan, who works with Christopher Nolan, I think a lot,
is his
right?
brother.
Writes his brother. He writes all of his movies and shit like that. And then Paul King, who I'm not familiar with, but
I will say I'm good with Denis Villeneuve because
yeah,
we need a serious tone. I love Edgar Wright.
yeah,
We talked about Edgar Wright not
we did. We
one
love
episode
Edgar Wright
ago,
here. We love
but
Edgar Wright here.
I don't think it matches the tone.
Can you imagine what that would have been like, though?
You know what? I can't imagine it because it's Ant-Man by Edgar Wright. It's sort of like a heist movie. It's like
Right.
so that's the plan. I think Denis Villeneuve is a phenomenal. I love Dune.
He's on fire right now.
I would
dude.
say Dune is the best sci-fi movie. Sci-fi, what? Yeah, in the 21st century, sure. I'd say like it battles Interstellar.
It's a feat. It's a feat. Like it's
It
so
battles
crazy
like
that Dune's
if we're
even a
talking
thing.
sci-fi, it's
Right.
Interstellar or Dune.
Yeah,
21st
you might be
century.
right. I'd have to think about it. That might be a fun topic
Yeah.
to get into. But I think you're right, dude. Denny's such an inspired pick. Just watch Arrival too, right? Blew my mind in Arrival. It's interesting because I guess in my mind I would more associate Denny with being a sci-fi director.
Yeah,
right?
that's why I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah, but he has done some more like down to earth grounded movies, like Sicario. I think he did the Sicario
I think
movies,
he did, yeah.
which are pretty badass if you haven't seen them. Like a military sort of actiony movie. But yeah, so Denny, this pick
He's
for
just a good director, dude.
James Bond, and I like that you said Dev Patel too, because that was going to be one of my questions: is who would you?
Dev Patel.
Yeah,
Immediately.
that's my pick, 100%.
And that's me not knowing a lot of British actors, I will say.
That's fair. That's fair too. But like, some people throwing out like Henry Cavill. Like, guys, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
literally, shut the fuck up. Like, go for an unknown
Yeah.
rather than Henry Cavill, guys. Like,
Did you have a favorite James Bond growing up?
favorite James Bond growing up? Dude, honestly, my parents, they were more of a Mission Impossible household. So I watched more Mission Impossibles than anything.
My dad was a big Mission Impossible guy.
You know what? Let me amend that. We were a Mission Impossible family, but then we also watched the Bourne movies with
I've never watched a single
Dude,
Bourne movie.
Badass spy. Like if you're looking for like a great spy flick, all the Bourne movies are great.
I have only watched 2 Mission Impossible movies.
Right.
1 and 2.
To answer your question though, like my kind of history with James Bond, I don't have like, I see like, I don't know, like some of the classic, like Sean Connery, I guess back in the day, right?
I
never
watched
saw any
1 movie out of every James Bond. Pierce
yeah,
Brosnan.
right. Like my hit rate is not so high with James Bond. But then you're looking at, like I was saying, the new ones with Daniel Craig. If anything, those were the ones I guess I grew up on, right? And
Pierce
seeing them in
Brosnan
theaters was cool too.
Pierce Brosnan was my James Bond growing up because
nice.
my grandpa liked James Bond a lot.
Okay, nice.
He
So it
owned
sounds
all
like
of them physically.
you were more of a James Bond house.
Not necessarily
up, if
that I was. It's just growing up. My grandpa lived I lived in the same house as my grandpa, so I was 10, and then we moved houses, but to the same neighborhood. So I'm very often, I would say every day,
Yeah.
And he had the collection. He would buy.
I love it. Yep.
So it was big for him. So that's why I say I at least have watched 1 out of every actor. But Pierce Brosnan, I watched all of them.
Yeah.
He has that one where he's paragliding in the Arctic.
Right. Yeah. It's I don't know, dude.
GoldenEye. You get the video game because of Pierce Brosnan.
It's true. It's true. I guess for me, I want there to be a good James Bond all the time. In terms of the most potential, I guess it's just ever since I've been growing up, I just look at these movies and they're not as good as I'd rather watch a Jason Bourne movie. I'd rather watch a Mission Impossible if I'm looking for a high stakes thriller.
How do you feel about
movie? But yeah,
after
if anything,
Casino Royale.
Exactly. If anything, dude, I'm pulling up a Daniel Craig movie because I think they're fucking killer.
Dude, Casino Royale is the only one I watched.
Okay.
Magic.
So out of Daniel Craig's all his movies, you've only seen Casino Royale? Okay.
Magic.
That's interesting, dude.
It's
I kind of wish I was in your shoes right now, except for the fact that you're about to watch Quantum of Solace if you continue your journey, and that movie's dog shit, dude. That one's not so good. And that
Skyfall.
Skyfall's good though.
No
Skyfall's
Time to
good.
Die.
No Time to Die is good. Spectre's good. That's the thing though. I think that James Bond's like peak. I think that the Bourne movies are hitting that more often than not, and the Mission Impossibles are hitting that more often than not.
I
So
do like Jeremy Renner, so I want to watch the Bourne ones.
that's like probably the worst one to watch, dude. Bourne Legacy, dude. Fuck. And I like Jeremy Renner too, but
Dude, if
yeah.
if only there was like an app we could talk about him on.
I know you make this joke every time we bring up Jeremy Renner. If only there was a Jeremy Renner app. It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, listen, I want there to be a good James Bond movie. The world needs a good James Bond movie, like to be in theaters and stuff like that. I'm just a little nervous, dude, with this
I'm
casting
shaking
pick.
in my boots.
The Denny pick, though, maybe we're in safe hands with Denny.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna let it drop.
Yeah, it's at least gonna be like pretty good if Denny's on it. You know what I'm saying?
Good. Denis Villeneuve, I trust him with my life.
Yeah. But I think that's it, dude. That was our last topic with the James Bond.
Yeah, that's all the reboots we could think of, unless you want to talk about How to Train Your Dragon, which looks great. I just haven't watched.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you throw a rock and you'll hit a reboot. I mean, there's the Jurassic Park reboot.
Oh yeah, that was
or whatever.
That one came out yesterday.
Yeah, there's a lot, which I don't even know the reviews on it. I haven't heard.
Oh yeah. By the way, it's 4th of July over here. So when I say it came out yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's true. We are recording on the 4th. I'm not even gonna say Happy 4th because it doesn't really feel like a Happy 4th. You know what I'm saying, guys?
Happy 4th to all of the people living in America.
Let me ask you this, dude.
I'm not talking about it
to close it out. You got let's stop talking about America. Fuck America.
No, I said people living in America, not Americans.
I got you. That's fair. Let me ask you this though. For the 4th, do you and your family, do you guys do anything? No. You guys don't have any traditions or whatever?
No, we don't do anything.
Only tradition I've got, Twilight Zone all day, baby, on Sci-Fi Channel.
Ooh,
my family
that's a good one.
Does it all day, dude. So
that's really cool.
Thing.
That's a weird tradition that you have, but
every sci-fi every year on the Sci-Fi Channel they just do a marathon. So
well, you also do Lord of the Rings on Thanksgiving, so
it's true. That is like a
and you do, and I know you so much. You do It's a Beautiful Life on Christmas.
It's a Beautiful Life. That's a good one.
Yep, I know all your traditions. There's a new one that has been
movies. Yeah, movies play such a big part in my family.
If there's a holiday, you bet your ass. If there's a holiday, bet your ass Cody's gonna be watching a movie.
That's all we did was just watch movies growing up.
Dude,
so yeah.
Boxing Day?
I don't do anything for Boxing Day, dude. I don't know what that is, dude.
Boxing
the day after Christmas or some shit.
You don't watch anything on Labor Day?
Nope, dude. Let's close it out.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for watching. It's been a great episode talking about reboots.
Let me ask you this though, Christian. Before we leave though, do you have any projects coming up, dude? Do you want to give extra love to, extra shout outs?
Ooh, I got 3.
Anything you're working on?
I got 3 books that I want to make a video on. I can show them to you if you want.
Yeah, lay it on me, dude.
Give me a second.
Cool.
Comic book stash, topic. I love A24. I've been talking about A24 a lot.
Yep.
As of late. And I've been reading a lot of books. So A24 released these novelizations of the movie X, Pearl, and Maxine. 3 movies that I have not watched, but I do love a good novelization.
I've seen X. It's pretty good.
So I'm excited to read these. They're pretty short.
Mm.
Yeah, I will be posting not like a review of them because I'm going to make the video before I read them, but I'm excited.
Nice, dude. That's pretty fun. On my side, we did the new comic book day. I did a top 10 with Kai Bucks, top 10 comic books of the month of June. Coming up, dude. I got a lot of Superman content coming up. Excited for the movie, shit like that. And yeah, make sure you guys check the link down below for Color Break merch.
Yeah.
I think that's been it for me, dude. Color Break number 50.
Yeah. Probably the day this episode comes out, you will see some new merch.
Ooh, hotness, dude. Okay, cool. Right on. So yeah, look at the link is on the screen. It's also down in the description, guys. Thank you for watching. Color Break number 52. See you guys in the next one.
Bye.